Hi everybody, how are you? Nice to see you today. Today we're going to talk about coming to a Zumba class and knowing a little bit more about attending the class itself, but also about one particular dance called the cumbia. So I want you to know that when you go to a Zumba class, that everybody is welcome, especially when it's Zumba Gold. You can come in even if you're in a wheelchair, or if you would like to be seated, or if you're standing, or if you can dance or whatever. I really want you to come no matter what. And all Zumba Gold instructors will feel the same way. So if you're ever nervous about attending a class, you can even reach out to the Zumba instructor, maybe by calling the facility and getting their phone number and just saying hi, and letting them know that you might be a little bit nervous to come to the class. And I'm sure that they will reassure you and make you feel comfortable getting there. And the same goes true for our classes. We want everybody to come and try the class, and these little segments that we're doing are to help people get more comfortable coming. You'll know a little bit more, and you'll see that it really is for everybody. It can really be a very fun and uplifting program for all levels of fitness, no matter where it is that you are starting at, no matter where your starting point is. So remember, when you go to any fitness class, wear good sneakers, light, loose clothing that you can, say you've got a little sweatshirt on, that you can take that off when it gets warmer. And then towards the end of the class, if you start to feel cooler, you can put your little sweatshirt back on. So something that you could probably layer. And also, please always have a water with you. I also want you to take breaks as you need them, but when you take the break, just keep your feet moving, either by walking around slowly or even rocking back and forth, just to keep your body moving, because it's not a good idea to go from having a lot of exercise and having your heart pumping really hard to just doing nothing. So even on your breaks, you want to keep your body moving by just gentle walking around, even, like I said, rocking. So those are the fundamentals of attending any fitness class. Always do a warm-up before your class where you're warming up all of your joints and all of your major muscle groups. So if you get to a class a little bit late, do your own warm-up. Walk for a while, make sure that you're bending your arms, waking up your elbows, bending your knees, moving your ankles, walking so that your hips are flexing, walking sideways a little bit so you're getting all of your joints lubricated before you start doing any physical work. And also be sure to do a gentle stretch on your back. So if you're seated, a gentle stretch on your back. You could use your upper leg for forward support. You could lean forward and then just bring your belly in, nice and gentle, good. And then come all the way back up. And if you're standing to do that, you would be in a standing, safe fitness position with bent knees, also using your upper leg for forward support. And you can just come down, you've got a lot of support here for balance, and then you can just bring your belly in, and it's really affecting your back. It's not really about the stomach. So the dance that we're going to talk about today is called the cumbia. And the cumbia is actually a dance that originated in Africa, or at least part of it originated in Africa, where a lot of our dance moves did. And when the slave trade was going on, a Spanish ship would take some of the slaves on their ship over to Colombia. And it was there that the cumbia really became popular, famous, and really part of the Colombian and the African Colombian culture. It really started when the slaves were shackled. So they would have one leg that was shackled to a fixed object so that they weren't allowed to leave. And they would court women. They would court their lady friends, even with the shackle on. So you'll notice that in the cumbia dance, we always will have one leg that we'll call it the shackled leg or the lazy leg. I hate to use that term because lazy sounds so negative, and these people certainly weren't lazy. But they would have one lazy leg or shackled leg, and the other leg actually works around it. So the music was so important to them, and their partners and their spouses were so important to them that they continued to dance even though they were shackled. So it really is a very emotional type of dance and very deep rooted in culture. It's over 2 centuries old when this dance started, and it has continued to modernize until today. Like if you're a Google person, or even an iTunes person, you could enter the term cumbia, which is spelled C-U-M-B-I-A, and you'll get songs and information that there's brand new cumbia music coming out today that's so fun and so wild, and it's just beautiful. It still maintains particular qualities like all Latin music does. Each of those specific Latin dances have their own traits in the music, and the cumbia has their own trait too, and you'll learn that the more you come to classes. So the cumbia uses I believe that it's called a guaracha, where it's back in the day it was made out of a part of a tree, and they used a hand whittled stick where they would scrape the stick against the wooden, it was like a hollowed out trunk. They would scrape the stick against it, and now it's evolved to, it's metal and it has ridges on it, and sometimes the stick can be wood, it can be metal, and it can also have like little forks on it, little fingers on it. So the cumbia has evolved right along with our passion and our love for the dance and the music. So as I did with the salsa, I'm going to show you part of this dance standing up, and I'll repeat it sitting down so that you can see how to do this song and dance, whether you come and you're able to do it standing, or if you would like to use a chair. And sometimes you can come to the class and think that you need a chair and end up being able to get up and maybe use the back of the chair for some support for yourself. And hopefully it can work in the other direction too, that if you come feeling like you're going to do this standing up, and you might feel a little bit reluctant about your balance, I would rather have you sit down and be safe and happy than I would ever want you to feel unsafe and unsure. So I'm gonna get up now. We'll do one of the steps of the cumbia standing first, and then we're gonna bring that step sitting down. So remember that we will always have one leg that we're gonna call shackled or lazy. I'm gonna start with that leg being my left leg. And in the Zumba class, I face you, so when I have my left leg still, you're gonna have your right leg still. Does that make sense? So you mirror me as opposed to duplicating my side. So I'm gonna start with my left leg, which will be your right leg. So my left leg is going to stay still. And I'm going to step forward with my right leg and then back. And if you can notice, my left leg is picking up just a little bit as I do that. Just a tiny little bit. And that pickup there is going to actually help when we start moving with our steps, because that pickup is when we would actually go to the left or to the right. So I'm just going nice and easy, and I'm going straight out from here just so that you can see what I'm doing. So this leg stays pretty still and this leg moves around it. So let's bring your left leg right back to center. Great, and let's switch legs so that this one is our shackled or lazy leg, and this one is going to move around that leg. So here we go, forward and back, forward and back, forward and back. Very good, and this one is staying pretty much right where we started. Great. So that's just us staying still, which is really fun when we're doing that. And now let's bring your right leg to a standstill in the center. Excellent. I'm going to sit down and show you this, how you can do this while you're seated. You may find that it's a little bit harder to do the cumbia if you're sitting all the way back in your chair, even though this really is where we're safest. It's just a little bit more difficult to work around the legs. So I'd like you to sit forward, halfway forward, so you're not perched on the edge of your chair, but you're halfway forward, and you still have plenty of stability, and both of your sits bones remain in that chair. You're going to bring your feet out a little bit further. Great. And let's angle ourselves just to the side, a tiny little bit, but you're still very firmly in your chair. Very good. And in this direction, you're going to have your right leg be the one that is the lazy leg, or the shackled leg, and we're going to work our left around it. So you can see that this one is taking a little step here, But like I said, that's just in preparation for when we're going to start actually moving. And it probably is, even though you're seated right now, it probably is a great idea for you to do that tiny little step so that you stay in time with the class. If you want to stay in time with the class, don't forget, you can do whatever you want in Zumba as long as you're not getting hurt and you're moving and you're smiling. So this leg will move around that one. Try to think about your knees and your toes always facing in the exact same direction. I don't want to have anybody's knee going in this direction and the toe going in that direction. Everything wants to stay nice and straight. And now let's bring this leg steady. We're going to switch just a little bit at a different angle, and let's go ahead. And now this one is shackled and the outside one is moving forward and back. So I'm doing a little tap here. Very good. Alrighty. So I'm going to put on a really nice, easy cumbia song. And let's try that particular move while we are doing it to music. I hope you can hear that. So, nice and gentle. Forward, back. And get ready. Nice and easy. We're going to change sides. How does that feel? Good? Good. Now I'm going to sit and show you from here. So halfway back in your chair, sits bones are both on it. I'm off to the side just a little bit. And here we go. Ready? We're going to pay attention just to our feet right now. Good. So my one leg is working and the other one is still. Now let's switch sides. It can be a little bit of a brain thing too, because we're probably very capable of doing this with our feet, but it might be that we haven't done something like this in so long that our brain is like, what am I supposed to do here? So practice makes perfect. I'm going to bring both of my feet back together. I'll stop the music and we're going to go to the next cumbia step. So there's different ones too. Just like the salsa, there's 3 or 4 different steps to most of these dances that we can use in each song, which makes it so much more interesting and fun. So the second move that I'll tell you about is called, to keep this simple, we will call this our teapot move. So you're going to feel like you're a teapot. Let's put one hand on your hip and the other arm is going to be extended out. So I have a 90-degree bend to my arm and my palm is open. My fingers are together. And what we're going to do is with this leg and this arm, so for you it would be your left, we're going to reach and then we'll drag the other foot. Reach and then drag. Reach and reach. So I use the word drag, but you can definitely lift it up over the floor and carry it along. You don't have to make contact with the floor. So we would always try to avoid any stress on your knees. So lifting it just a little bit and moving it would be better. So we're going to reach, almost like you're reaching and pulling, reaching and pulling, reaching and pulling, reaching and pulling. And now let's go in this direction. Reach and pull, reach and pull, reach and pull. Reach and pull. Very good. So I'm going to sit down and show you that same dance step from a seated position. We will go in that direction, which will be to your left. I'm still going to use my hand on my hip. I'm going to try to keep this as authentic as I can, even though we're seated. And elevate through the chest, and we're going to very gently, we're going to reach and pull, reach and pull, reach and pull, reach and pull. Now let's switch over. Very good. Hand on the hip. Reach and pull, reach and pull, reach and pull, reach and pull. Great. And you will love this when we put it to music. So here we go with our great song again. I'm going to back the song up. So slow. My phone is so slow today. I hope you can hear that okay. So we'll sit up nice and tall, hand on the hip, And here we go, nice and easy. Good. Step and pull. And great. Let's do one more set. Now I'm going to sit down and we're going to do the same moves but seated. Hand on the hip. Here we go. Out and 2, 3, 4. Keep going. 2, 3, 4. And now switch. Ready? 2, 3, 4. And reach. And switch. 3, 4, and switch. How does that feel? That's fun, right? All right, we're going to go on to our next step now for cumbia, and this one's very exciting because it's actually, you know, something that they had to do while they were shackled. It was actually part of their job, and it is called the machete step. Or the sugar cane. Some people prefer to call it the sugar cane. And this consists of, we still do have a shackled leg, but we're going to pretend that we're holding a machete in one hand, and very gently we're going to step out with one foot, and we're going to slice that sugar cane and come back up. So we're going to step and slice and come back up. Step and slice and come back up. Step and slice and come back up. Let's do it to the opposite side. Ready? Slice and come back up. Slice and come back up. Very good. You will see this particular step really getting, it can be very dramatic. We're not going to have it be dramatic because this is specifically a class for seniors and beginners, so we're going to keep it very simple. But when people are really dancing the cumbia in their cultured environment, it really becomes a very emotional move for them to do that step, and they really get into it, and it's quite beautiful. Maybe sometime when we're in a Zumba class in person, I can show it to you, you know, on a screen and let you see how it really can look that way. But we're mimicking that move as a dance fitness perspective for seniors and beginner people that really need to be, we need to be very careful with our bodies. So we're modifying it only a little bit to keep us safe and happy, but we can still feel that that emotion that they experience in their own culture. Alrighty, so from a seated perspective, we're going to do the same thing. Halfway back in your chair, sit up nice and tall. You can have one hand on the opposite hip of your machete hand if you would like to, but what we're going to do here is step out and slice, and then come right back up. Now be a little bit careful here doing this step that we're not leaning forward. We really don't want to get our center of balance, our center of gravity off. We want to stay upright, but we can still enjoy the motion. And back, and let's do the other side. Slice and up. Slice and up, slice and up. Very good. And now I'm going to turn the music back on and let's try it together. Hold on to your machete. Are we ready? Up, down, and up. Let's switch sides. Ready? And switch sides. Great, now I'm gonna do it seated. Halfway back on my chair, both sits bones are in the chair, and we will start with our hand on our hip and our machete arm up in the air. We're gonna step and lift. And here we will switch sides. Lift. 3 and 4 and switch. How does that feel? Good. And one more on this side. Slice, slice, and 4. Very good. So that was excellent. And what I'd like to do now is play the song, and we will mix up the steps a little bit so that we're doing more of like a Zumba formula to the steps and the music. And the song is about 3.5 minutes long, and you will see a combination of all 3 of those different steps. Now I'm going to be getting into the seat about halfway through. So at the end of the first set, I'm gonna stay seated, but if you're standing and doing your routine standing, that's absolutely fine. You can still follow along with me, standing or seated, and just remember the different safety things for when we are seated. So I'm going to start my song over again, and we're going to go through the whole song and the whole routine. So this is just the opening part of the song. Nice and easy. I'm going to start traveling to my side. Here we go. 3, 4, and go back the other way. And other direction. 2, 3, 4, and teapot, 4, and machete. Other side. Now I'm going to sit, and we're going to start here with the machete step. Nice and tall, reach. And other side, reach and up. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Very good. How does that feel? I hope you enjoyed that. We really need to do a little bit of a cool down together. So let me put on a nice gentle song for us to relax to and kind of stretch everything back out again and relax, bring our heart rate down. That's something that we talked about at the beginning of the class, is how we really need to always do a warm up in the beginning and a cool down at the end. So let me put on a nice song for us to relax to. So we're going to do a little relaxation, stretching after our class. Just after that little workout. Our first move will be to just reach our arm out to the side on the inhale. And now let's reach up, one arm up, one arm down on the exhale. Very good, let's inhale again here. Hold that breath just for a moment, and then do the shape of a snake on the exhale. And reach out to the other side. Inhale, Reach out and stretch. 1, 2, 3. Out. Stretch up and down. Reach up. And the shape of a snake. And reach. Let's just reach the other arm out here. Hands together. Hands up only as far as you can, gently and softly, together. And up. Down. Let's reach one all the way across the chest. And do the same to the other side. Reach. And open. Reach and open. Excellent. Let's bring the arms down. Now we're not going to bounce at all, but we are going to reach to the side and up. And now let's do the other side. Ready? Reach and up. Reach and up. Reach and up. This time let's take our hands up. If you can place them behind your head, that's wonderful. If you can't, put them wherever you can get them comfortably. And we're just going to gently twist at the torso. Both of your sits bones stay right in that seat though. We want to keep our posture straight so that we're not putting any pressure on our spine other than a gentle twist. Very good. Feet firmly on the floor before we roll forward gently. We'll come back up. Very gently roll forward. This time bring your belly in so we can give the back a little bit more support. Forward, belly in, and come all the way up. Very good. And now let's open and close our hands. Give yourself a little bit of a squeeze in the palms and then open them nice and gently. Nice. And with a very soft fist so you can see right through, nothing hard, nothing, you're not clenching at all, very soft fist. Let's put one arm out and the other arm is going to have that soft fist, and let's gently just tap the arm muscles, being very careful, avoiding the joints altogether, and gently going up the arm to the deltoid muscles. Good. We're going to switch to the fingertips as we go across the front of the chest and to the other arm, right to that deltoid. Very gently tap that muscle. Skip the elbow joint, go down to the forearm. Excellent. And the inside of the forearm. And then the biceps. Very good. All the way back up here. And we're going to tap across the chest again. And also tap down the inside of that arm. Then we're going to take that same fist, very gentle, and just very kindly bump our quad muscles, the tops of our legs. Nice. This is so, I'm barely touching myself. It's very gentle. And now do the opposite side. Nice. And now with our right leg, it will be your left leg. We're going to put that leg out so that our heel is on the floor and our toe is up. So we're giving our calf a nice stretch. And right now it's on the floor, but then what I'd like you to do is to lift that up. And now you're getting a calf stretch, plus you're also getting a hamstring stretch. I hope you can feel that. Now from here, point the toe. Great. And now inward circles with your toe and your whole foot, and now outward circles. Very good. And we can place this leg down, and let's put the other one out onto the heel with the toe up, stretching the calf. Very good. And now let's lift that so you can feel that almost all the way up the leg. Bring that toe towards you. Great. And now let's point the toe, stretching the ankle forward. Very nice. And then inward circles with the ankle. And then outward circles with the ankle. And we'll put that foot back down as well. So very good job, everybody. I'm really looking forward to seeing you. And now we've already learned the salsa together and the cumbia together. So I'll see you next week with another version. See you then.